So 7 o'clock. Call to order the meeting. For February 21st. The agenda. Put that up here. Seat alternatives, we don't have any alternatives, so that's not needed. We have Noel, I'm sorry, what your last name? Lafayette. Would like to go first to discuss the letter of intent for the solar array. If that's okay, we'll change the agenda a bit.
Make that
No problem.
motion.
Okay,
I make a motion that it's no problem.
okay. Second,
Second.
all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No? Okay, great.
Got that, Hunter?
Yep.
So Adele, you don't have this packet,
No, I don't.
but I believe I have a letter here.
I'm gonna try and keep up with the meeting, but as many of you are aware, nothing to do with the meeting. I lost my big guy in October and I just rescued a guy on Friday that I spent over 600 miles and 10 hours in my car.
Okay.
And he's now telling me that he thinks he needs to go out. So I'm
All right.
gonna take my phone with me and hopefully I can still stay in contact with the meeting.
Okay,
We'll
No.
send this packet. to her.
and we'll email this packet to everybody in the board.
Okay, great.
Floor is yours.
Okay, Tom, do you want to introduce this or?
Oh, yeah, this is Noel Lafayette. He is from SHR Energy Management. SHR won the RFP several years ago, probably 3 years ago.
Correct.
To install a solar array over at our transfer station. And it's been quite a work in progress, a lot of obstacles with state government and agencies. And now we're finally at a point where if everything goes smoothly, we can probably see construction in the fall of a solar array there finally. And Noel has all the details, literally worked through the weekend to get this letter of intent or option letter put together. We pretty much finalized it about 2 o'clock this afternoon with our attorney. He's all on board with it. There is a little bit of a time element involved here, which Noel can explain. Go ahead.
Thank you, Tom. Everything Tom said is accurate. The purpose of this document, one of the things we talked about over the weekend with the town attorney is letter of intent does not meet the legal requirement for us to bid into the building in March. We have to have full site control. So the lightest document we could do would be a site option. So that gives me control of the site. I have to show this to Eversource when we bid. So that's why it was somewhat pertinent, because the Board of Finance needed to approve it. And we have to, the next Board of Finance meeting will be after the bid. So that's why there was a bit of a rush. All the numbers, all the terms, none of it has changed from before. Okay,
Before when?
when we started discussing it 3 years ago. Okay, so it's really very simple. The town is the landlord. They are leasing me the land, the green area to the right of the transfer station proper. I'm gonna install a 1.2 megawatt solar array. That's all we could fit on there. And in return, because I won the RFP and you didn't want to go back out to that, we made option payments to the town to keep them on the hook. Like, we're interested, we're not kidding. We did 3,000 a while ago. Tom has another check for 5,000. And should you pass this, he'll deposit that check. Okay. So what we aim to do is we bid it in March 14th. It'll take the program 30 days to analyze the bids, and should we win, we will receive notification. I have to post bond, which is very expensive. At that point, we would sign the final lease. It doesn't make sense to do so. Rack up the attorney fee, everything else. If we lose the bid, then, we're gonna get it in August. So that's really it. And the basic terms are these, and they're all delineated in the document. $25,000 a year, flat, no escalator. No property tax is the assumption, but we have to go through the process with the assessor to have her sign off on that. Okay, we found the original rent was 20 with escalators and tax, and we did the math, and by raising the rent to 25, the town does better over time. It's a couple $1,000s, but also the issue with solar is that the revenue contract with the utilities is fixed, so we can't be subject to assessments or any of that stuff. It's not built into the model. So whatever we do today has to remain, right? So what we ask of this board is to approve this 25,000. You have the option payments as I just described, and we would win the bid, sign the lease. Mike Ryback, of course, would sign off on that, and then we would make our first rent payment at the start of construction. Okay. I included in here, we already have zoning approval, we have 824, we have wetlands approval, so we have all the approvals. The only reason we're here tonight is that we needed to refresh this document because the other one was 3 years old and it was a little stale. So that being said, if there's any questions I can ask for anybody, please ask. The town is protected 3 ways. One, the solar carries its own insurance, you're named on the insurance. 2, we're gonna post a decommissioning bond to the town, so 20 years from now, when we're all gone, it won't sit there and rust. It'll be taken down, you'll have the money for that.
20 or 25?
What, 25?
25 years?
25,
Said 20.
no, sorry, we had a lot of 20s here. 25 years with a 5-year option to extend it at SHR's discretion. It really a question of how long does the technology hold up? Solar panels, we know are good for 40, but a 25-year thing will replace those inverters twice. So after that, it doesn't make economic sense to replace them a 3rd time. And 4, probably more important, the technology is going to be completely different 20 years from now, right? So go beyond that doesn't make sense. I think that's about it. If there's anything else I can answer.
So the 25,000? Adele, I'm sorry, were you gonna ask something?
No,
Okay, so the 25,000 is what, for what?
That the town of Morris will receive $25,000 a year rent for 25 years with a 5-year option to extend.
What's the 5,000 then?
That was an option payment because we started this process in 20.
Okay, so it's 25,000 a year versus 5.
Oh, yeah.
Rent 56 acres for the solar.
No, it's just the acreage that he's.
They's gonna use, but they looked at zoning for that.
The transfer station will not be affected in its operations. And we couldn't use the landfill proper because it's too young. They've got to settle for 20 years. Also, it has no tabletop. It's just a mound. So there's no way, this was the only option. People ask, well, how come we don't buy the power? Morris doesn't use enough power for this. You guys have this building, the fire department, the public works. We looked at them all, only also to put rooftop on them. They're all facing the wrong way. You just didn't have a lot of options, right? So this was the best economic opportunity for the town of Morris.
So we're gonna lease the land for 25 years and the town is going to receive $625,000 plus the 8,000 you've already earmarked for them.
Correct.
I don't see a problem with that.
It would start next year.
So aim to shoot in the fall. And the reason why I say aim, because we have to go through the bidding and then it all has to be ratified by PURA. Something always causes delay. Somebody says, oh, I didn't get my bid in. I'm suing you if you don't let me, like something always
When
happens,
you
right?
talk about bidding, I'm not sure I'm following you. What?
I have to bid up starting March 14th for a very short window of time. Eversource opens a portal and we have to submit our design. We have to submit this document. Our interconnection application, which is already done. And what we'll sell the power to Eversource for. And everybody bids and they pick the lowest bid and the most viable project.
Everybody, I'm sorry.
Every solar developer, every fuel cell guy, every battery person, and anybody, right? When I started in this business in 2007, there were 4 solar companies in Connecticut. There's now 120.
Mhm.
So the bidding is competitive, right? One of the reasons they introduced the site control document is they wanted to eliminate speculative bidding. They don't want everybody wasting time on things that are never going to get built and, that kind of thing. So if a municipality signs this, okay, they're serious. This is well along.
Okay.
Whoever wins has to honor the $25,000 a year.
If I win, I pay you 25 grand a year for 25 years.
Right.
That's all you need to know.
Well,
Oh, there's 100 megawatts worth. This is 1 megawatt. So 40 or 50 projects will be selected.
so also, this is just the option right now. It's still, we still have to draft a lease after the bidding process should SHR win the bidding, their bid. So there's still a lease to be drafted and to be approved. So it's not the last step here.
Yeah.
It's just to allow the
This
project,
is the first step.
almost, yeah.
Almost bidding, yes. No, the first step was going through the local boards to make sure we could.
Right, but from this point, if something crops up, in any case, we're gonna have to revisit this.
Correct. So the hope is you sign this, we bid in March and we win. If we don't win, we bid again in August. Right? So if I can't win and bid 2 times, then I can't win. I've been doing this a long time. So that's really about it. And if, that's why I'm saying we aim to construct in the fall. Okay, but just through an act of sincerity, I've been giving you these option payments to show you I'm not kidding. I'm investing in this project. I don't want to walk away. Meanwhile, Tom's standing there for 4 years going, well, I'd like some rent sometime, So it was really just an act of sincerity and commitment.
Okay.
So is there, you guys come out and do site visits every once in a while to make sure it's clean, up to date? and all that?
Yes, yeah, we do. We have to mow it once a year. We've learned that. We wash the panels because it's roadside it'll probably get a little dusty, so we'll wash those once a year. They're really very low maintenance. There's no moving parts. What often happens is if there's a power surge or something like that, an inverter will clip off, but we'll know that on the computer, right? Because it's all internet based. And we'll send someone out to fix
So
it.
the town incurs no additional resources to maintain, nothing for the
Nothing.
property, fencing, nothing.
Less resources because we mow the site now, but we won't have to do that.
But the only thing the town needs to know, what I've learned from other similar small towns that have volunteer fire departments, is the fire marshal chief, there's got to be an outside disconnect. So if the thing catches on fire, he comes out, he disconnects it, it's off, and they control the burn, and that's it. Let it go. The insurance company will take the rest.
Okay.
Right. And usually those fires don't start unless you put in batteries, which lithium ion, we all.
And you talked a little bit before the meeting started about, is there any sort of fencing or?
Well, what you have now is if you're driving on 109, there's a gate and there's a probably 20-30 foot gap in the foliage. So we don't want people to have to see that. So we'll put in some arborvitae or something like that, whatever's going to survive, right? Because a lot of people put in decorative shrubs and it doesn't survive. To screen it from 109, the access road will come in from a transfer station. So the
Can I just say that the arborvitae, they
Yeah.
invite deer.
Yeah.
What is it?
They invite deer. You might not want to put.
Okay,
those there.
That's right. You don't want to put an arborvitae up because they really invite the deer.
Okay, well, we can let the boards, I usually Nick DeMattis, who is a pretty well-known local landscaper. I guess you guys know him.
Nick,
Yeah, real big dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he does all my sighting and stuff like that. He picks plants that'll survive. Right.
Yeah, well, the arborvitae is not going to survive here. I can tell you that.
It's gonna be eaten. Okay, well, that could be part of the lease addendum that we can all agree on the shrubbery. And then there'll be a gate. So if the transfer station's here and the solar farm's here, there's a 7-foot fence, National Electrical Code. We'll have a gate that way. So if anybody ever has to get there, they can go in through the transfer station. Right?
this is something planning and zoning also looked at. They probably came up with that idea, I think.
Correct. If you wanted the access from 109, then there's no point in screening it, right? So it makes sense to make it look nice, all of that.
Okay,
All right.
someone want to make a motion to accept, approve the option, site option?
Correct. And also, it's very important. This gives us option, but if for any reason we can't negotiate in good faith the lease, you have an out, right? I mean, so until that's it. And Mike Ryback, I've done several solar developments in the area, as many of you may know. I did all of Region 6, Litchfield, whatever. He knows my documents, so it's not like going to be something he hasn't seen before.
I'll make a motion to approve the site options as presented by
No.
Noel.
Option agreement?
Option agreement.
Correct.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Abstain.
That was a lot of work.
I'll leave these packets for people who can attend with Tom.
Not you guys, but everything previous.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you've been talking about this for.
You guys, well, everything we talked about before, you literally, Tom and I were just all weekend long trying to pin down the leak, right? Stuff here. Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Noel.
Thank you, and I hate to hit and go, but I gotta go to the 8x824 in Litchfield on their wastewater plant.
Okay.
So, no, thank you.
Stay busy.
Yep, Thank you very much. Pass these out to all your friends. I'm very proud.
Deal.
Yeah. Also, if any of you have friends that own large tracts of land, let me know.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Tom will do signatures and all that tomorrow. Right. Yep. Yeah, cool. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Good night.
Night. So moving back up to the second or third item on the agenda, Sandy Beach, interlock agreement. We discussed that, I believe, at our last meeting.
Mhm.
There was no, nobody opposed it. So,
There needs to be affirmation that you agreed to let it move forward, I guess.
so someone,
You need to put it in the minutes. Is that what it is?
It needs approval from Board of Finance.
Okay.
Okay, approval to. For
Sandy Beach interlocal agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a technicality that we don't want to skip.
sure. I want to make a motion for that.
But, okay, how do you want to word it now? Yeah,
Make a motion.
Board of Finance.
To agree to the.
Motion to approve Sandy Beach interlocal agreement.
And then we'll put the Board of Finance.
Yeah.
Okay. I will make that motion.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 No opposed?
What's that gonna cost us?
I think the way that it was described in when we had that meeting is there's been no increase in Sandy Beach. Fund requests year over year over year, so.
You didn't expect any
And we
this
don't
year.
expect any this year.
Okay, all right. I'm just inquiring, that's all.
Yep,
Real quick, myself and Denise Rapp went to Sandy Beach's last commission meeting on the 16th. And we talked about the interlocal agreement and also the lease that I think when you were in office, Phil, with White Memorial
Mhm.
expires in March, so Denise, myself and Ed Ryle from Sandy Beach, we're going to be meeting with Lucas Hyder to work out the details of a new lease for Sandy Beach. So we're working forward on that. Sandy Beach also asked Litchfield for some ARPA funds for some projects at Sandy Beach. And Litchfield felt more should be part of it since we're part of the budget and we're part of the beach, obviously. One of the projects was tree removal, and we're going to work with Sandy Beach and our public works crew and take care of the tree removal. So that'll be the more share of what Litchfield's putting up. This will be our share to cover our end of it. So
Cool.
thought it was a good way to make it work for Sandy Beach.
So do you foresee much difference? I mean, that agreement that we signed quite a number of years ago. Is there much of a change?
I think there's more transparency and there's going to be more communication. And that's one thing White Memorial would really like to see too. But also, Sandy Beach kind of like, we didn't see them for a number of years,
Right.
They didn't change their budget. Nothing happened. There was little communication. And some things fell through the cracks, like the insurance. So this will hopefully keep that from happening in the future. That's our hope. We're going to meet with them at least once a year.
That was going to be my next question, if we would have the meetings with them just to keep ourselves and everybody that's involved in the
Loop.
in the loop, and know.
loop.
I think it's great. It's nice that Ed was here at your last meeting and kind of explained their revenue side and their expense side. So you need that information.
Yep,
It's great.
and he didn't anticipate an increase in funds needed, and even if there was a slight increase in the lease agreement, they wouldn't ask for more money.
Yeah, that's good.
So Okay. So we have a motion on the table?
Yep.
Do we have a second?
We do.
Yeah, so that was approved. Okay, fourth item, monthly reports. For January. Rick, I don't know if you wanted to go through those or not. I have them,
I think you're probably better off going to the over report. Cause that one just shows.
here's the overage report right here. Or at least that's what you sent me. It says overage report January.
I'm sorry, no, I'm just trying. Yeah, so I don't think, make it bigger, Tom, I don't think there's any. I mean, pretty much it has a lot, oh, labor attorneys went up, that was just going through our union contract, that's. I don't know if it's signed, but it's been approved, right? Is it?
It's in place and I think we're finished with the labor attorney.
Okay, so yeah, so that's when that popped this month. The labor attorney,
What is the increase gonna be for people who are under the union?
this year was,
For what, wages?
Yep,
Current fiscal year, 2.5, next year, 2.75, following year, 2.75, the fourth year, 3.0.
okay.
highway's getting tight in a lot of their budget lines, even though right here. It still looks good, but all the expenses have gone through the roof. Almost everything we do. Has cost at least 20 to 25% more than what we do in a normal year. Even though that's the same ones that were on there last month, I do believe in the next couple months. That doesn't mean his budget is gonna go over. I'm just letting you know that there's probably gonna be more stuff added. He would have to come in if it's gonna be going over as a total group. Transfer station, you guys, there's that one day where you guys can, multiple towns get together to get rid of their paint and all different things. It's getting to be really, really costly to the town to do it. I believe it was $120 per car. So last year, 2 years ago was $1,600. Last year was $1,200. So we put the budget in at $1,200. This year is 24. You can see there 23. That's just one day, 23.17. So again, I don't know if you want to stick with that program, but it's just getting more expensive per carload than it's ever.
Well, you've also got to look at one thing, Rick, and that's the fact that the transfer station is not open on Sundays.
Yeah, but I don't know. These are special stuff that can't be thrown in the transfer station, I believe. I mean,
Well, I
I'm just-
realize that. I do understand that, but I mean, the town should be saving money on the fact that having the transfer station not open on Sundays makes a huge cut in who's ever working.
Do
in
we
their
have a
salaries.
salary?
Do we have salary?
Salary reduction? Because,
That's next year's
You want to
budget.
get into next year's budget?
no,
I mean, wait a
Yeah,
minute,
that's not
Tom.
just-
I mean, let's face it, you've got a guy working there, you know, and you've got people that are not working on Sundays. And don't tell me for 1 second that they're being paid for Sunday when they're not working on a Sunday.
But I believe we're talking about the hazardous waste.
I
Yeah.
realize that. I understand that.
So that's the line item we're talking about. So that's the cost of that particular item.
I think the basic
Doesn't necessarily offset
question is it too costly to
do.
hold it?
I'm gonna
Well,
cover
it
that.
should offset it. It should offset it because you've got people that aren't working on a Sunday when they should be working on a Sunday.
Yeah, again, this is what happened this year to this year's budget, why we're double what it was last year. So you look there, it's 183% over. Again, that's just one day of activity of townspeople taking advantage of multiple towns coming together. So I'm not going, I mean, again, when you look at the over report, it's only snapshot of stuff that's over. It doesn't show any good news in those departments. I'm just explaining what's over.
okay, and they could do line item transfers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think transfer station's in trouble as a whole. I'm just showing that when you
This
look at that.
particular line item is over budget.
Yeah, and also you guys remember too, is we budgeted payroll at last year's rates, not with any increases. So those will all be going over by the end of the year sometime.
Right.
And we also lost,
Budget, we put that in the contingency.
yeah, and we also lost 4 employees during this year, which had
Well-
to be paid out their sick time and just so we're transparent. Again, none of it's gonna show up today. But come May and June, when we're heavy into the budget, when we do the over reports, that's what we want to skip over and then be surprised at the end of the year that we don't know.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause we went
But
with
Rick, at the same time, you've got somebody that has not opened the transfer station for months now on a Sunday afternoon or Sunday period. So you've got to cut all that money out of the budget.
Yeah, again, are you talking next year or are you talking today?
No, I'm talking right now.
Yeah, so they don't get paid if they don't work.
Right.
That's
We're-
right. I mean, you've got
Yeah.
3 people that were normally paid for a Sunday afternoon and they're not working right now. So that money's got to
Getting
come out of
paid
the budget.
either.
Yeah, we'll see that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're-
but you also, number two, you lost a long-term employee who got paid out. So let's, again,
Yeah,
let's.
I know we did. And Tom had plenty of months notice to replace that person, but I won't go there.
Adele, we're talking.
Yeah,
Tom, I'm not gonna go there.
You just did.
We're just talking about the overages right now, so.
I don't think there's any other ones that we haven't seen in prior months. Again, elections were very high this year.
Yeah.
Again, but we talked to them a long time ago.
Right.
If you guys see anything.
I didn't see anything.
Legal, you always have issues with, especially with all the stuff going on in town.
Yeah, that was my concern for next
Yeah,
year.
and again, we don't. Yeah, so you do have planning and zoning might have some issues coming up in legal. These are things I'm just hearing. But, because they all always have to have a lawyer with them, so. But that's, again, I think all in all, we're in really good shape.
And this was the general statement of expenditures.
Yeah. I mean, you guys did a great job putting a lot of money into continue to handle the payroll and the electricity. We didn't want to put into the line items. And electricity just jumped into kilowatt, but what are we under? Constellation was 16.
No, right now Constellation, as part of my budget, is 7.78 cents per kilowatt until December.
Wow.
We're looking at locking in at 10.7
Wow,
after
Can I
that.
get that right?
me too.
You can get 13 cents. You gotta go online. Seriously.
On the Eversource site, yeah.
Oh, no,
The links.
no, Constellation.
Oh.
Constellation, they're offering 3 years at 13 or 14 cents.
Pretty good.
I locked in for 16 cents because I get a
That's good. I gotta beat
$75.
you.
I get a $75 gift card, so. I have I only use electricity 3 months. But besides that, that's going off tangent.
Okay.
Fire company seems really good. He hasn't said much of anything major going on in his zone. I'm just trying to think. Beach and Rec seems pretty solid. Again, they're gonna be over in a couple line items, but nothing that impacts their overall budget. Just because of just the way the different monies have fallen.
But the overages are gonna be helpful building this next year's budget because we'll have a baseline
Correct.
for the oil and the salary and all the good stuff.
Was there anything, Adele, that you had on the expenditures?
Well, I've got a question in regards to the hiring of a new ACO officer. I know somebody that came in and talked to Tom in regards to the position that is available. And Tom told him that this position was no longer available because they're going to go with Harwington. And if they go with Harwington, it's going to cost the town of Morris $16,300 a year. And Tom, I want to know why you continue to pay Madison Daly over $6,000 a year when she never responded to any calls. And I can tell you the last 6 months of her job, if you followed Facebook, which I know you did, and it was all in regards to eco. That
Is there-
she never,
Adele, I'd rather not get into.
you know what,
accusations.
Kip, I've got to get this off my chest because this
Yeah, but
damn
it's not
person.
really the appropriate time or the place. I have a question.
All right, okay,
regarding-
fine.
Hey,
But I'm
Adele,
just gonna basically say
Adele.
right now
See
that
ya.
I do not believe that the Board of Finance should approve a $16,300 increase
Adele.
to
Adele,
have
you
the
need to
town of
put-
Harwington.
The proper format is to put that in writing to this.
No,
Asking for it.
I have
This
the
isn't
right to make the
I
motion.
think he dropped something.
Kip,
you-
I have the right to make the motion that I do not agree that $16,300 is appropriate to go on with the town of Harwington.
Yeah, but where are you getting that number?
We're not even looking at budget.
Where-
Um, You know
Guess we
what?
Get nothing done.
You can just do some sneak and search and you'll find it.
Well, I'd rather have some facts in front of me.
Well, you know what? I've got the facts in front of me and Kip, I will send them to you personally.
Okay. We were trying to go over expenditures and appropriations. If there was a particular line item that you wanted to talk about?
Yep. Well, right now, to me, it's the ACO officer.
Do we have?
No, the ACO officer was on the first page we were looking at just now. That
Right
Rick sent us, yeah.
Oops.
What is she over?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have privy to them
She's not.
because I'm not at the meeting.
But she hasn't been working.
I have it up.
We don't pay her.
We haven't been.
What?
You see it?
No.
What are you saying, Hunter?
I'm just saying that it was on the first page for it was under dog. I saw it earlier. Maybe this is the wrong one. Hey, Adele, honestly, that is something that you should address by letter to the selectmen. If you have the facts and data when we're building the budget, that's a big deal. We'll use it.
I will do it. I
Sweet.
have no problems doing it
Yeah.
because
just when
there's
we're
a
building
big
the budget,
difference
I mean,
between
if-
$6,000 and $16,300.
Yeah, when they build a budget and propose it to the Board of Finance for us to review and approve, and we will see the numbers that they put in there, and they should be actual and factual, and then we could deal with them then.
I will. Not a
Sweet.
problem, Hunter. Not a problem at all.
Yep, it'll get addressed.
Okay.
Good.
And then, I don't know, this was the tax collection.
Is that on the agenda?
I did not. This
You
was
not-
additional.
You want me to add it?
Sure.
I'm gonna make a motion to add a review of the tax collector report.
That came in just at the same time I sent the
I'll
agenda.
second it.
Okay.
Any questions on this? Do you have any?
No, I think you guys are in great shape, 90% going out of January. I know she has some money already built for February.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, Adele?
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, yeah, we just did an addendum to the agenda for the tax collector review. I
Yep.
proposed it, filled it a second, and we need to vote on it.
I agree.
Okay, all those in favor, everyone agrees?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
She is concerned about back taxes because your town's been really, she has 3 big accounts, I believe she said, but she doesn't know if there's gonna be any movements on them. So that's the back tax line. But overall, the whole money left of 709, I think she's gonna get there regardless if it's not in the correct bucket. Again,
709, where's
so it's
that?
that bottom corner uncollected
Bottom right.
balance.
Okay, yep.
So I do believe she's gonna get there. From the last time I just spoke to her, we had like $500,000 in that account just in February, which means we only have 200,000 to go between now and June.
Is there anyone in arrears that we have to put collections on or?
Yeah, she has. It's only like, I think it's 3 or 4 people total. It's not. It drives her crazy.
Yeah.
So it's just the next step what she's gonna do.
Yeah.
But you'd have to talk to her more I don't pay attention to the names. I only
One
see her
of the
once a
people
week.
is our first, second selectman.
March, April, May, June?
June.
4 more months?
4 more months?
But you won't collect as much as you did in January, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean. Usually we're over that. I mean, I think we did a better job planning it this year by raising the collection rate to 99%. Because we were over collecting, so now it looks like we're gonna be more close to collecting the correct amount, so we're not over taxing people.
Okay. And then. We're set there?
Yep.
No other questions?
I don't,
Next item I had was. We did the solar, the CNR project balance to understand.
yeah, so those are just completed projects that we just have money left over. That I just want to recoup into unassigned, because. You know, I don't want people even looking at them to say, oh geez, you know, it still falls on, you know, what I mean, not that they could, but it's just. It's time to close those out.
Get rid of them.
Yeah, so you got the transfer station, which is the biggest one. We came in under there, like 35,000. Yeah. So you got that one. You got a little bit of money in library computers. You know, salt shed, you know, it's only 365, but all this money, so it doesn't make sense to keep something open that doesn't need to be open. I'm just asking for us to move that 49,000 into your unassigned bucket, which is right now at like 276,000. So I'll get you closer to 315 or 325,000. So it's just a cleanup.
Yep.
And then when we put out new projects, it just gets clean.
Okay,
So if I say reassess CNR project overages.
Yeah, reassign
Reassign CNR project overages to what?
to the unassigned balance in CNR.
To unassigned.
so. Right here, if you want
Okay,
to move
Oh.
completed CNR project balance to unassigned.
We do this usually once a year.
Yeah,
and we have to vote on that?
yeah. Someone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we reassign CNR or completed CNR project overages to unassigned in CNR.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Dell? All right. Next item agenda is we already went through the solar transfer, draft budget presentation and a review.
I mean, you guys have the budget and, you know, I know he works really hard. I mean, not that he shouldn't, but he did work really hard, meeting with everybody that his group to try to get the cleanest budget out there. I know he spoke a little bit earlier about what the ups and downs are. You have the packet now.
Did you email this packet to us?
I don't,
Did he email?
Did not.
we haven't seen it.
We haven't seen it. This was the-
So we haven't had the presentation, so we can't review it. So we're gonna kill that line.
Yeah,
Well, you have it, yeah. So this is the budget. I think he wanted to talk about it. But you know, I mean, the big thing.
you want to
That's gone up significantly.
review or did you want him to do that?
I think he'd want to do it.
Yeah.
That budget.
Yeah.
He'll,
So we'll draft budget presentation overview will be pushed back to our next meeting. How's
Yeah.
that?
Is that next Monday or next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday. I might have
21st, 28th?
conflict, but
I don't wanna-
I would say put the list of names you want to have come in. So that we could, you know, then just give them the time if they're certain. You guys will every year call 4 or 5.
Yeah,
The big,
Yeah, you know, we actually sit down as a group and kind of digest this first. And just go over it. And if anything's glaring, what we do is on the spreadsheet, we have a separate spreadsheet. We just kind of highlight it in yellow and kind of like put little notes next to it so we don't get lost.
correct.
So we can go line by line in a smart way, but it's not hard getting them in here.
No, the-
department.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. If you have a list to give to Tom.
Yeah, we just to formulate the questions in our head before they get here rather than just.
That makes a lot more sense, trust me.
right. So this was on the agenda for tonight and we're not getting to it. So.
Sweet.
Could Tom or you send us the proposed budget via email or?
Everything goes through Tom.
Yes.
I don't, honestly, only thing I do is I give him the shell and he works it.
Okay.
So I'm not tossing it, you know, it's his baby.
Yeah, no, I understand.
I just make sure it ticks and ties. And then it goes from there.
So one of the things that we had asked, and we got some, was preliminary budgets from some of the departments.
Yeah.
So some of those were sent over. Looks like more were sent over and they're now.
You know, what's funny, the format, I thought at one time we had them use a specific format for their budget, so everything was the same, so you guys could cross over, you know, Excel. Some of them are doing it, I mean, it looks like they're doing them all on different,
Really?
yeah,
Yeah,
they're.
Different sizes? Not, you sure that it's just not the bottom corner?
no,
What
like,
I was looking, I printed off a few of them and I was like, I'm done printing them because
like here was the library one that came in. I guess
is
that's
on
similar.
Excel.
It's on Excel. That's.
I thought I saw one that was.
That's not Excel?
It is,
That's okay.
it is.
One of them I couldn't open. That's planning and zoning. That was preliminary.
Oh, well, that one's formatted, right? Well, I guess that too, but I just thought that they had a generic spreadsheet that was given to them about 2 years ago where they
Oh,
could just plug and
pension?
play.
This is the one.
Oh, not her,
Yeah.
yeah, that's Mary.
Yeah.
Cause no, Mary doesn't get the whole budget, cause that's under contingency, that whole group. So she just gives us her 3 line items. She talks to Tom with what 3 are.
Okay.
And then that's all that is. But no, every department head.
Okay, so you only have to fat finger that one and the rest of them you could just.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, no,
Okay.
like I said, I know he's working with them and I know he was ready because I never seen him spend so much time on something to get this done, to get it here tonight. So it's kind of, I know he really wanted to get out in front tonight so you guys could have it to work on your end, just knock it out as fast as possible, but AOC. At AOC, I was like, just read everything. Right.
All right.
Turn to the page on here for that. There's no, what he's asking for is not $16,000. So I don't
Yeah.
know where this comes from.
Yeah, we'll read
Okay. Next item, last item actually, for any new business was to approve the minutes from the previous meeting. Which are here. And submitted to the town. Do you want to make a motion to approve minutes from,
I'll make that motion for the opportunity to check them out.
do you need a copy?
Huh?
Do you want a copy of them?
I had them on my,
Oh, okay.
I'll second that. I'll second.
All those in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
All right.
Any new business? Hearing none. Public comment? Do we have a? Okay. So I make a motion to adjourn at 7:42.
Second?
Any opposed? No, great. Thank you. Meeting ended.